Hi everyone, welcome to today. Today's English. So we know that we've looked at talking about the things that we have, possessions, items that we own, and we've talked about knowing if we can say, there is or there are, what we have, and where they are. And also when we go to the mall, to the shopping mall, how do we say what we want and be clear about exactly what we need. So we've done all that in the past few lessons, but today we're going to look at the grammar that we learned with speaking about things that we have, possessions, items. Okay, so let's get into the grammar part, which is a review. So making sure we understand the grammar that we have learned for the topic of speaking about things that we have. So I've got a few things with grammar. We know that when we say there is, it's a way of showing that something is here. Like there is a sofa, in my room, there is a sofa, there is a fan, there is a plant, there is a bed. I mean, you can talk about what you have inside your room, what you have inside your class, what you have inside your car, what you have inside any building, any place. So that's the idea. And if it's plural, we say there are. So there is for singular and there are for plural. So in our textbook, to the review, it's got a place of a home, a bedroom. And it's a bedroom in a hotel. And it says a sentence with, so I'll show you the image here. So what can we see? What is in this hotel room? So number one, I would say sofa. I would look at the noun first, the object, and it's singular. It's only one. So I could see in the image, there is one sofa. So we say there is a sofa. So pretty simple. There is a sofa. For number two, I'm looking at the noun and I can see flowers. So would I say there are some or there aren't? Now, just be careful. There's the word any. And if you remember, there's two ways when we use any. So as I said, using any, we know we use it with a singular noun to show, singular noun, but in a negative. You could see any is used in a negative way. So I only can say any when I'm saying there's nothing, that noun is not there. There isn't any flowers in this room. There isn't any chairs. Imagine if there was no chairs because everybody's sitting down. There's no free chairs. There isn't any chair. So that's when we need to use any in negatives. But we do also use it in a question. In the plural, we say, are there any, if I'm asking someone, oh, are there any classes that you do that I can join? Are there any books that you don't need? So when I can also use it as a question. So make sure any is used in a negative and negative, singular and plural, and in a question. So if I go back to my sentence, there are some, aren't any. So it looks like I need a negative. Because we know we use it as a negative, but any is connected, to aren't any. So it could be there aren't any flowers. So that's the only way that I use any, if it's a negative. And we can see there is that verb to be in the negative. But because, do you see any flowers? I do on the table. So I would say, I don't want to say there aren't any flowers. I want to make a positive sentence. So I say there are some flowers. So they're the opposite. If you have a negative, you say there aren't any pens, sorry. There aren't any whatever, or the opposite, there are some. There are some chairs in this room. There are some tables. There are some tests that I have for you. There are some, you know, there is some space. So I say some. Okay, some is for positive. Any goes with the negative or with a question. Number 3, there is or isn't a picture. Isn't. I can't see it. There isn't a picture, a negative. Number 4, there is a or aren't any rugs. So we can see the word any again connected to a negative. But can we see a rug? No, because that's a carpet. Remember, carpet is like the full space of the floor, but a rug is like just a little one that's on top of the floorboards, on top of the tiles. So are there any rugs in this room? Sorry? There aren't. Yeah, negative. No, there aren't any rugs. The desk and chairs are, so if I look at the desk and chairs, they're not between the window, but they're in front of the window. Okay, because between means between this one and this one, 2 objects in the middle. Between is like saying in the middle. So no, it's just in front of the window. And the red shoes are on. We say something is on the floor. There's something on the ceiling. The clock is on the ceiling. The shoes are on the floor. The book is on the desk. So when it's like on top of something else, we say on. Okay, on. The sofa is between. It's in the middle. It's in the middle of the table and the bed. It's between. So the sofa it's a positive sentence. It's a singular noun, the sofa. So I have to use is, not are. And it's between. Yes, it's in the middle. And the bed, is it under the sofa or behind? It's behind it. Yeah? Okay, so good. So that was using preposition of place, talking about what there is or what there are, or if it's a negative, and then just showing where is its location. Okay, where is its location? Now, this was an example in a hotel room, but I could show you how you could use it when you walk down the street and you're saying, oh, there's a restaurant in front of the bank. There's a gelati shop next to the bank. So you could even show where places are in their location. If you're walking down a street, any objects in any place. Okay, it's a good example. Now, we looked at our nouns and we know we have singular nouns, which just means one, and plural nouns means many. So classes, singular, class. Shelves, shelf, yep, so it has an F, shelf. And if I said families, there are many families in this area that are Colombian. If I want to talk about just one, family, my family, that's talking about one family. And if I said women, woman, yeah, so woman, the one that has an AN ending is for one. So look at that woman, she's whatever. And if I have knives, if I just want one, knife. If I have children, many children, but I have one, but my sister has one child. If somebody has so many boots, but I have one boot. And if, you know, my friend has so many shoes, but I have one shoe. Okay, so singular and plural nouns. I hope you could see the difference between them. Okay, let's have a look at this image that we have here. So remember, we looked at this, that, these, and those. So this is because something is close and I'm holding it, like this book. You know, this book is great. This book is really, it's really good. It shows a lot of images. If I'm talking about one object and it's close, how do I know if something is close? It's because I can like touch it. I can see it. I can see it within maybe my reach with my hands. It's really close to me. I say this. But if something is singular and it's far away, I say that. Like, oh, look at that man. Look at that bird on the tree. Look at that, that hat that someone is wearing. Now, if it's plural, we're talking about many nouns. I say these if it's close by and those if it's far away. So these, like pretend I have lots and lots of pens. I'll say these pens are very expensive, or these shoes are very expensive. If it's far away, those. So maybe I'm looking at someone else and saying, wow, those shoes that someone is wearing are really nice. Or those plants over there are really nice. Or those children look happy. So those is far away. So in this image, number one, there's a woman, there's a man, and he's pointing to someone. It looks like he might be a little far away because he can't touch him. So he would say, who is, or remember how we can connect the verb to be with the word before it. So we could say, who's that? Because he's a little bit far away. Who's that? Yeah, who's that? And she can say, that is Sam. That is my friend Tony, or that is a name. Now, a question. We start with the verb is and is holding it. So that must mean it's very close. He's holding the pen. So is this your pen? Yeah, because it's close. Is this your pen? So maybe I'm sitting next to Dickerson and I say, oh, Dickerson, is this your pen? Because I'm holding it, I'm touching it, and I can say, is this yours? Is this your pen? Yes. No, is this your pen? No, not good grammar, that one. No, so we say, is this your pen? Or is that your pen if it's far away? Number three, it looks like this man is pointing at rollerblades, so plural, okay? I know it's one object, but because there's two of them, are plural? What is it? Are these your rollerblades? I think they're a little bit far away because he's not really touching them. So are those your rollerblades? So it must be in a distance that's just a little bit, I can't touch it. So I'm saying, are those your, for example, if Edward's charger was here, I would say, oh, Edward, maybe he has many. Are those your chargers? Because I can't really touch them. They're over there. But if I'm holding it, I could say, are these your chargers? So are those your rollerblades? We can sometimes even not say the noun. Are those yours? As long as I'm pointing to it and showing someone like this one, like, are those yours? Now the pronunciation, because Dickerson, those. So we really need to make sure those. Are those yours? And in the last image, the man is holding the boots. So he's touching them. It must be near. It's close. So are these your boots? And remember, we looked at pronunciation. We really need to say these. Are these your boots? Are those your rollerblades? Okay, so we need that pronunciation. That is a very short at. Remember, we looked at that being at. So it's that. Pronunciation? That. Yeah, there's a TH. So the, at, that. For this word, that. Okay, so now we can talk about everyday objects and say where they are, their location, by using preposition of nouns, preposition of place. So let's have a look at some vocab. We looked at colors. Which one is not a color? Chair is not a color. So red, gray, white is a color, but chair is not a color. Furniture, map is not a furniture. It's an object. It's an item. Sofa, desk, chair, they are furniture. Countries, Austria, Dutch, Belgium, China. Remember we looked at countries and then nationalities? So you should know the difference in the previous lessons we had. Which one of these options is not a country? Dutch is not a country. That's a nationality. If someone is Dutch, they are from the Netherlands, Holland. And on your feet, shoes go on your feet, rollerblades go on your feet, boots go on your feet, but hat does not go on your feet. On the floor, we can have carpet on the floor, rug on the floor, but not the blinds. Remember, the blinds was what covers up the window. And we have nationalities. So France, British, Brazilian, Spanish. Which one is not a nationality? France, that's a country. Adjectives, remember adjectives show us the color of something. It gives us information about how it looks, if it's old or new, if it's beautiful or worn out, if it's good or bad, or if it's small or big. So an adjective tells us information about the noun. So slow is an adjective because an object can be slow. Useless is an adjective because that means like you can't do anything with it. Large is an adjective, so age is not an adjective, it's a noun. And currencies, if you remember, we looked at money because we know how to talk about how to say how much something costs. And which currency do we use in Australia? The Australian dollar. So pounds is what England uses, Europe, dollars, Australia, or the Canadian or US, and money is a noun. It's not a currency. It's not a type of money. Yes, I like that. It's not a specific type of money in a country. It's just an object. A money is a noun. It's an object. It's like saying pen, money. Do you have a pen? Do you have some money? Do you have some books? It's an object. Okay, we have some sentences. We must pick one of the words from here. So if I said, stop the car at a red light. So red is an adjective, light is a noun. We know that we put the noun after the adjective. Adjective first, noun at the end. Number 2, the computer is on my The computer's on my desk. The computer is an object, and where is it? It's on my desk. Okay, so object and where is its location? The next one, something is a country in Europe. France is a country in Europe. Yeah, Italy is a country in Europe. Germany is a country in Europe. Question, are these rollerblades fast? Are these cars fast? So it's asking something, question. And make sure you can see it starts with a verb. When we ask questions, we start with the verb. There's a something next to the bed. It's singular, so because there's an is. So there's a, and I can see that I said a. That means it's singular, only one. So what is there? There's a sofa next to the bed. It's the same as saying there's a plant next to the bed. There's a cat next to my bed. What do you have that's next to your bed, Edward? What is next to your bed? Okay. What is next to your bed? Yes. Yeah, there's a rug next to my bed. Yeah. For me, there's a side table next to my bed. Yeah, there's an alarm next to my bed. What is next to your bed? There's a side table. Yeah. Yes. We call them, if it's next to, because they are to the bed, bedside table. Side table is fine for another part of the house. In the kitchen, it's a side table. In the lounge room, but because it's particularly for the bed, specifically for the bed, they're called bedside table, bedside drawers or bedside, tables. But is it a drawer? Is there drawers that you open up? So bedside drawers. So there are, plural, bedside tables next to my bed. Yeah. And the next one, something people speak Portuguese. Who speak Portuguese? Brazilian people speak Portuguese. Portuguese people speak Portuguese. Yeah, but Portuguese people speak Portuguese. From Portugal. Yes. Yeah. But the language is the same. So you speak Portuguese in Brazil, but you speak Portuguese in Portugal. Yes. So Portuguese people from Portugal, they speak Portuguese. But it's the same language, Portuguese. Do you know what I mean? I know that there's yes, but I know that there's differences. I know what you mean. It's like, yes, no, that's okay. Like the other day, I don't know who told me that. Someone said to me, oh yeah, the teacher next door, he said the Spanish, he's from Peru. It's funny, it's different in Colombia. And this, so sometimes I don't understand because different, the Colombian students speak different Spanish to him. So, but the language is, the language is called Spanish. It's the same language, but yes, we call them like minor or differences. Slang, there's different slangs, there's different sayings. Maybe there's a bit of different words that you use, but the language is the same language. You know what I mean? Like Australian English is the same English as American English and British English. But yes, we have a bit of differences. Okay, the next sentence. The opposite of fast is slow. The opposite of fast is slow. Okay, so those were adjectives, fast, slow. So make sure you know your adjectives. And you need something in the United States. What do you need? You need dollars. Yeah, you need money. You need dollars. Okay, so now we've been able to talk about furniture, objects that are in the house. But remember, you can imagine using those same idea to talk about what's in the garden. Okay, so they're objects that are in a garden. You've got a pot plant, you've got trees in a garden. So the same thing, they're just objects. So we know how to talk about objects in a house, but you can imagine using the same idea to talk about objects anywhere else. When you're in a mall, in the mall, maybe there's a beautiful fountain, or maybe there's so many shops in a mall. There's so many people. Same thing, look, there are so many people today. Same thing. Okay, we have a conversation here. So we can see that we have someone saying, can I help you? Remember, we know how to go shopping now. We know how to go to the mall and buy something. So the person that is selling something, they would say, can I help you? Do you need help? Would you like some help? Okay, all the same kind of questions. If someone said, can I help you? What would the answer be? What would you say? Yes, please. I'd like a coffee. So we use a lot of please in English. It's just always yes, please. If you don't need help, you'd say no, thank you, I'm fine. No, thank you, it's okay. No, thank you, all good. But if it's a positive, I'd say yes, please. Can you help me? I need help. Yes, please. Can I get? Now, I would like a coffee. Another word to say that is, can I get a coffee, please? Yes, can I get a coffee, please? Yes, I would like. We have I would like. I need 2 coffees to go, please, or 2 coffees takeaway. I need, I would like, can I have, you can say can I have a coffee? Can I get, remember, that's another way. Can I get a coffee, please? Okay, so make sure you're very familiar with responding yes, no, and all the different ways that we looked at. If someone says large or small, yeah, exactly, a small one. So again, you can see the please. We're very polite when we go shopping. We always say, yes, thank you. A small one, please. Then is there a medium size? So maybe they're talking about a top. And yes, negative. So I'm sorry. We always apologize because it's nice to say, oh no, sorry, I apologize. But there isn't. We don't have it. We're out of stock. And then they might add, we can order one for you, or I can check. Maybe, oh, let me check. I don't know. I just need to see. Let me check. Are there other colors? Yes. So yeah, there is. Remember, we know how to say what we have. Yes, there are. If it's plural, yes, there are many shirts in many different colors. Or yes, there's blue, there's pink, there's orange, there's multicolor. How much are they? So we know how to talk about price. We know how to say how much? $3.50. So remember, that looks like this. So $3.50. Or we could say $3.50. So remember, we learned that the cents, if we want, we don't need to say it. It's both are common. That will be $3.50. It's too long. I don't think we use it as much. Take notice the next time when you go shopping and ask someone, oh, how much is that? And they'll usually say, oh, that's $2.50. Oh, that's $10.80. Oh, that's $20.99. So we don't really say the cents. No, we don't say point. You have to say and. You always have to say and. You cannot say point. The only time when you say point is when it's in the million. So how much did that house cost you? It cost me 1.2 million. So you do use point here, but yeah, it's so this will be 1.2 million. So we do use point when it's above 100,000. Yeah. So when you start to get in the million. Yes. Yeah. The unit is million, and you must say point here. So only when you start to go up from 1.2 million, 1.6 million. So yes, you say point here. And remember as well, we don't put a comma, because I think in Spanish, I remember I learned must be a comma. In English, it's a full stop. So this symbol is called a full stop, but we never say that word when we talk about money. We say, 350, 1.2 million. I should put a dollar sign. So good question. Yes, we do say the word point, but it's only in the million when we have a numbers in the million. So like I said, if I'm talking about how much did your house cost, or how much I won the lottery, I won $10 million, 10.6 million. Okay, good. That is all the grammar that we did. So now we can go shopping and buy objects. We can ask what we need, what we want. That's what we can do. Okay, so that was all the grammar that we did for the lessons that we had. So remember talking about possessions, which are just like saying objects, things that we have. We know how to say what there is, what can we see, where are they? If it's singular, plural, if it's a negative, we can ask a question, we can answer, we can talk about money, and hey, and yes. Okay, so that is it. That's all the grammar that we have learned for the past few lessons. Next few lessons, we're going to be talking about places. Okay, really interesting. We're going to be going to places. We're going to learn how to talk about the time. If it's 1/2 something, 1/4 to something, 10:30. So talking about the time, talking about places, using the present simple, describing what a city looks like, or a place, a countryside. And we're going to be, present simple, mostly the present simple, places and languages. We're going to write about our favorite place. We're going to give directions. So we know we know how to talk about a place, but how do we tell someone how to go there? Okay, so that is all next lesson. So that's the end.